Watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah!
While it's since been shut down, YoYoGames Sandbox was a website dedicated to hosting Game Maker games by some smaller creators, and that included a huge number of Sonic fan games. On the screen right now you can see that there's a ton of Sonic Game Maker games. I'm sure I played a lot of these because I remember just searching up Sonic all the time. That being said, I literally remember absolutely none of them, except like 3. But I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this video, to look back on these. And I will say, while we have some great Sonic fan games now, nobody seems to talk about these obscure ones. And I mean, maybe that's for a good reason, but, you know, these games inspired someone. Oh yeah, and also, thanks to the YoYoGames Archive team, because without them, I wouldn't have been able to play any of these games. I'll put a link in the description for this site, just so you can play these games. Obviously be careful with what you download, but I'm just really glad these were preserved. So, let's play some games. So to start, Sonic Baby... Oh, thank God, it's a 4-player only game. Oh, I can play this instead. Can't do that with babies, can you? Now, a lot of these fan games are based off of games that already exist, like Sonic R. As we all know, the R in Sonic R actually stands for green. This looks like a Game Maker tutorial template because obviously this is not Sonic R. But hey, they did keep the fan favorite gas meter though. I don't think this is the best Sonic game to start with because it's not really even a Sonic fan game. This is clearly something someone just made in like 2 minutes. Really just a funny little minigame. Oh, you know it's a good game when it says, "Don't accuse me of stealing." I'm already not happy with this game. I don't like this music. Oh god. Oh god, the motion blur's bad. Yeah, nothing says speed like a bunch of hills. This isn't good so far. I guess it's just a straight line though. Hello? Is it over? Oh. Man, I sure don't feel like I'm going 200 miles per hour. Oh, there's actually a Hedgehog section. Okay. I didn't expect a Sonic Advance sprite style change. Oh, what is this? Not only does this play completely different, this doesn't feel good, like, at all. And it's really slow, holy shit. We're really missing that Hedgehog soundtrack right now, because this combat is so intense. Okay, I guess that's it. I can't do anything. Alright, I'm just gonna stop it there. So the 2 sequels were kind of the same thing, same game. So I'm not gonna sit here and keep harping on this game. Yeah, the motion blur is atrocious, and the gameplay is not so great either. But it's cool to see this sort of thing. I think there was a lot of games on Game Maker that used the same engine as other games, and I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. But I mean, there's like momentum. Like a lot of games on here, a lot of these games feel like they were just kids trying to make games, and honestly, I was even one of these kids who made a game like this. So yeah, it's not perfect, but I think it's commendable that they at least tried to make something nice here. I hope they eventually went on to do better things. I feel like it just makes sense to follow up Sonic Unleashed with Sonic Colors, even though Sonic Colors isn't my favorite, but this game was pretty good. It was definitely held back by Game Maker, but the presentation was pretty great. The cool thing is the person who made this has a YouTube channel, and while the last upload was 4 years ago, that's some crazy dedication. Like, a lot of these people, when you look into them, they've just deleted all their stuff, but this person keeps going, so that's awesome. I'm not sure if the cutscenes are straight out of Sonic Colors DS. I didn't play Sonic Colors DS, so I wouldn't actually know. But that being said, I really liked the way that this game was laid out. It did feel like it was trying to be, you know, Sonic Colors in 2D. But I can't help but think that that kind of hurt it as well. Funny enough, that previous game that I played, it had a lot more, I don't know, like curved areas, hills, I guess. And you know, this game did have some variety to it, but it just didn't feel like it had momentum. I felt like I was fighting with it a little bit. It feels like it really wants you to use the boost over anything else. And you know what, maybe that's a little bit like Sonic Colors, where really the wisps are the name of the game and not so much the momentum in some cases. And while I've never really enjoyed the wisp mechanics, it doesn't feel like Sonic to me, it was still fine, and it was really impressive that it actually worked too, because I mean, making this in Game Maker is probably not really easy. I'm glad it wasn't too hard, because I know some games could be a little too difficult. Jesus Christ, I fucking hate them. Now, the game didn't hold my attention for too long. I just thought it felt kind of samey. It wasn't bad though, and I do really appreciate mainly how this tries to be really true to Sonic Colors. But it doesn't have that same sense of speed as something like Sonic Colors DS has. While I didn't really play too much of it, I do know a little bit about it. And while it doesn't need mechanics like the hang glider mechanic and everything, just having that like momentum would have gone a long way for this one. Maybe future updates fix things, but if you really like Sonic Colors, I think you'd like it more. For a game called Metal Sonic Part 1, this genuinely was so much more fun than I thought, and I kind of want to go back and complete it. Like, the creative use of Sonic 3 enemies was just awesome outside of a 2D, you know, platformer. It was just cool to see the translation to shmup enemies. It's like, you need to design them with the thought of this is how they're gonna move in this like fast speed environment. So it's cool. I love that. The power-ups were really cool too. I didn't get like a huge amount of them, but there's some weapons and there's these like Tails clones that act as like those little ships you get in shmups. These were cool because you could destroy like half of them, like the top Tails could be destroyed but the bottom one still shoots. So little things like that made this like great. The bosses too were a highlight. This one was kind of a pushover, but the next boss was a lot more difficult and it was kind of like a multi-phase boss fight. Which, enemy variety in shoot-em-ups is already great to put in your game, but the fact that this is all based on Sonic material, I don't know, something about that was just really cool to see. Unfortunately, I only got to stage 3, but genuinely, I thought this was a lot of fun, and the spectacle was really on par with actual shmups. This is kind of where I think Sonic fan games really shine, is when they don't adhere to a formula, and just kind of do their own crazy thing. Like, having your standard Sonic platformer is great, but this was special. I really liked this. Sonic Realm of Chaos used a 3D Sonic engine I kind of saw everywhere on Game Maker, but this is the one that I kind of remember playing, or at least I remember the creator. Also, this title screen, could not get my mouse out of there, but I did eventually find out that you can actually die in the title screen, so that's pretty cool. Glitchy menu aside, the game was a lot of empty exploration, but it was still fun to explore, even if it was really simple, and there were some little combat encounters, but not a lot of them. Also, I'd just like to point out the fact that this has an Unleashed boost. Every game on 3D Game Maker had an Unleashed boost, at least from what I remember. This is also one of 2 stages I found. I could not find any other stage in this game, aside from these like hub world-like areas. So let's talk about those. While the gameplay is really simple, I have a fascination with just like empty 3D space and just having some random NPC dialogue just like scattered throughout. Even if it was nothing really interesting, as you can see here, I still enjoyed looking around. Funny enough, I was kind of surprised that these characters, as edgy as they look from afar, they were actually kind of positive, saying like, I can do anything, and like, this beach is so nice. It's just, this whole game had a weird air to it. Eventually I found out these weird Eggman faces were the way you go to different levels. Now, something I didn't expect, and I actually really enjoyed, was Alaska. Alaska was very, like, empty, and it had this distant guitar track that was just, like, mesmerizing. It was also just, like, an obligatory, like, Hedgehog cameo. It was so bizarre. It wasn't, like, anything that was, like, mind-blowing, it was just weird. Gave me really weird horror game feelings. Not like the type to like jump scare you or anything, just like that weird surrealness that you'd get from like something like Silent Hill. But like this isn't like Silent Hill, like it was just weird to me. Eventually I did find the first stage, and it was a simple but kind of fun platforming segment. And when the perspective itself changed to 2D, it was kind of amazing that it functioned perfectly with no glitches, and I was really impressed. But fun game, really simple gameplay, but the one stage that I played was actually kind of fun. The creator of this game had another game I played called Sonic Emerald Hunt. It's kind of just the same thing, but with emeralds and Tails and Knuckles available as well. I played this one for a while. It's kind of like the Knuckles hunting minigame from Sonic Adventure. Really, it was just missing an emerald radar, and that was pretty much it. Otherwise, it was just a fun game to wander around in. Originally, I didn't know if I was going to play this game. This is Project Silver Cancelled, and I saw that it had Sonic Team Jr. on it, as well as in the installation page, it had their signature STJR. While it might not be, it sounds like this is Sonic Team Jr., the people who made SRB2, which would be really cool, but I have no factual basis on it. I just hope that it is, because that's just kind of awesome. So, let's check it out. Okay. Oh, this feels really bad. Yeah, this is a great start. I can see why this is cancelled. You know, usually starting your game with a death pit is not great. I also don't know what the hell Blaze the Cat is doing floating the fuck away. The way the creator talked about this seemed like there's a lot to it, so I hope this is pretty long. It literally ended 30 seconds later after I said that. If it wasn't obvious, this wasn't finished. But I mean, there was death pits at the beginning, and it was just really slow paced. There was just enemies everywhere. No real game combat to talk about. I did like what they did here with the loop-de-loop, but otherwise, there wasn't too much to this, and I can't fault it because it wasn't finished. So, it's fine for just a demo. And here comes yet another Silver game. Silver, The Worlds Collide. I love this like techno music of Silver talking in the background. Can we stop using the Sonic Heroes Frog Forest music whenever there's a Silver game? What is it with this song? Is there like some sort of frog lore I don't know about? Yeah, that's cool. That's actually really cool. Oh, cool audio. Oh, awesome. I broke it. For a tutorial, that was kind of hard. Oh, f*** off.
All your days are belong to us.
Jesus Christ, I haven't heard that in forever. Oh, I didn't know how to damage it. Yes, that was a little difficult, but, you know, the fight itself was kind of fun. But the fact that I had to go here all the way from the beginning, I did not like that. Yeah, Silver would say that. Okay, that's an immediate enemy. No. Just game over as soon as I hit the next level. Big fan of the respawning box. 0 lives? Wait, what? So it doesn't give me lives when I load my game. I think I'm done here. Man, I really wanted to like this game. I like the mechanics, and it's a fun little like puzzle platforming game, and it's really well made. Like it feels really good to play. I think its biggest shortcoming is just that it's really hard. Like some of the platforming segments were really fun, but you'll see here like the platforms were glitchy and just I kept dying over and over again, and it doesn't give you your lives back. So I don't know. If you're willing to like hurdle yourself over the really massive difficulty spike, maybe you can get further than I did. But it was good, and I enjoyed the mechanics and the visuals of this one. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of here! Sonic FGX is a game I have some really fond memories of. For a while I didn't have a GBA to play, so this was my Sonic Advance. In my eyes, this is where the sprites came from, funny enough, but regardless of that, even playing this nowadays, it's really a standout above the rest of the Game Maker games. And it's not like those were bad, but this one was really good. it featured some pretty lengthy levels with a whole cast of characters to choose from. There's actually a lot of custom character videos on YouTube, and it's not that I'm saying go there and laugh at them, but some of these are really old with really long intros, and some of the music choices are just a little questionable. Anyway, Sonic FGX. The levels are pretty good, and they're pretty long as well. They don't really feel unfair in any way, and I found a lot of fun in replaying them. The boss fights is where I kind of have problems with things, like this boss fight that's on screen right now was just kind of confusing, because you're not supposed to hit him, you're supposed to slam him against the wall. And just, there's kind of like a small screen space problem that the Game Boy Advance had, which I feel like you could kind of just avoid that entirely with this, but they didn't. The special stage rings are just like Sonic 3. Really nothing too interesting here. It's kind of just like the Sonic 3D Blast special stage. But otherwise, there's a lot of secrets to look for in this game, like Hypersonic, so, you know, it's still a lot of fun to play. All that being said, I wouldn't actually recommend playing this version of the game. The only reason I wouldn't recommend Sonic FGX on the old Game Maker engine is because this game is actually being remade as Sonic FGX Ultimate, featuring some online multiplayer and some other really cool changes. So I think that's what should be checked out here. But yeah, I love Sonic FGX. This video was originally going to be a lot longer, but it's my first time editing something this big and it was a pretty difficult job for me. But I'll probably make a part 2 with some of the extra stuff I have. But honestly, I had a ton of fun making this. I love visiting obscure and old projects from indie creators, and I've just been doing that since I was a kid. If you want to see more stuff like that, you could subscribe. Up to you. I just started. But yeah, I'll probably be coming out with some more videos soon. Thanks for watching. See ya.